But, Tristan, if she causes you trouble, please don't come to me. If he gives you trouble, call her. Mic drop.
I was really anxious about Tristan, the way he can be so hyper, and I didn't know how that was going to work with Cassandra because she seems like a very mellow, easygoing soul. But to see how he reacted to, Cassandra introducing her family and the way he ran to greet her dad was amazing. And I love Cassandra's dad and Tristan's mom. Oh my God, I love the two of them. I think they're going to be amazing in-laws to their children. And so to see the speech that, Cassandra's dad gave, how emotional it was, how jokey it was, and his mic drop. I'm here for that. I love the mic drop. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl, Valerie. I've decided to review Married at First Sight Australia. I've watched the season, but I've never reviewed before, so here we go. Let's see what happens. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, season 11, episode 1. The bachelor and the sort of bachelorette party was too confusing. It was too hyper. The women, I think, were doing too much. Some people, I think, are there just for the fame because of the way they were talking too much. Some of them were fish out of water. It was sad. Like Nat, I really felt sad for her. And so there were too many faces because Married at First Sight Australia always has a lot more people. It's like the UK version, whereas the US version, they start with 5 couples and they end with 5 couples. No one comes in afterwards. No one, people get to leave if they want, but you always know who you're dealing with. So I'll just review from the matches. So the experts' first match, one of the guys looked like Shane from Love is Blind, if you remember season 2, Tim. I thought that was Shane. I was actually surprised when he said his name was Tim. So Tim is 31. He's traveled a lot. He said, he loves Colombia. He's got an adopted Ethiopian sister, so he wants to build a school in Ethiopia. He seems to have a lot of online stores and is really looking for someone who's in for a committed relationship. They've matched him up with Sarah, and I don't know how that's going to play out. Yes, Sarah is of Colombian descent, or she's Colombian by birth, but I don't know whether that's enough to sort of match a couple just because somebody likes a country. I don't know. I had an issue with her talking about going on a date and the guy apparently wanted her to pay for the date and she felt some type of way about paying for that. And it's like, this is not necessary for you to bring up. This is something that you'd rather keep in the back of your pocket and just talk to with your friends somewhere, and you don't need to speak about it on TV, especially when the rest of the world is going to see it. But do I think they'll make a good couple? I don't know. I think Sarah comes up with a lot of baggage because she says she was in a very toxic relationship before. Hopefully, Tim is caring and compassionate and empathetic enough to help her sort of offload her burdens, and hopefully the two of them will work, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So the next match is Cassandra and Tristan. I love Cassandra. I fell in love with her. I feel sorry for her that at such a young age she's had to deal with grief, in that apparently her boyfriend that she dated for a long time, I think it was her first love, he died in a motorbike accident. So that's really sad. She seems to have a very loving and very supportive family. It was nice to see her with who I assume is her dad and her sister. They seemed like a very loving and caring family. Tristan comes across as a great guy, but I am concerned about his body image issues, in the sense that how will that affect his relationship with Cassandra? Because Cassandra seems as though she has the capacity to be a loving and caring partner, and I'm worried whether Tristan will have any issues or whether he'll feel he doesn't deserve to be in a relationship with her because of how he talked about himself. So it's going to be very challenging to see how that relationship plays out. And so really can't wait. I really can't wait to see how they develop. It seems they both want family, they both want children, both want a supportive partner, and I hope this is who they find in their partner that they've been matched with. And so I am curious to see how it plays out. I am curious to see how it plays out at the end of the day. So Sarah and Tim are the first couple to get married, and for me, I'm already put off Sarah. I'm sorry. You are the friends you keep, and I am doubtful of Tim as well, in the sense that Tim has his friend who's going to give the speech, and the friend says his speech is not PG, and so he's not going to sort of rehearse it in front of the producers. He'll just say it out loud at the wedding, and it's like, why would you do that? Why would you feel like, doing a performance at somebody else's wedding? You've been asked to give a speech and sit your bottom down. You don't need to make a scene. You don't need to be inappropriate. This is not your day. This is your friend's day. If you're a good friend, you'd focus on your friend's happiness and not you being a jackass. I'm sorry. And then Sarah, I didn't like Sarah's friend because her friend just put me off, because when she was talking about this guy taking her for a date and he wouldn't pay and he asked her to pay, I was questioning her. I was wondering, what is it about her that's off-putting? And to hear her friend sort of have a checklist of what she wants. She wants someone who's tall, who's got good teeth, who's got this color eyes, who's got this. And it's like, if that's what she wants, she needs to go on a dating app. And then she can swipe left or right on whoever she likes. She doesn't need to come to Married at First Sight, because she's not in a supermarket where she gets what she wants. She gets what they think is appropriate for her. If she doesn't like it, that's it. Because when the friend walked in, when, Tim's friend walked in, you could see Sarah's friend, oh my God, she was panicking. And it's like, this has nothing to do with you. You don't need to make a scene. And the way she ogled Tim when he walked in, oh, I'm worried about that friend. Is she one of those friends that's going to have an affair with the groom then, or what? I don't get it, and I don't trust it, because I didn't like how too eager and how too excited she was when she saw Tim. I can't wait for them to get married, and hopefully they stay in the background. Tim, in my opinion, was very corny. I don't know why he decided to speak to her in Spanish. Did they tell him that, she's Colombian? What is it? I don't get it. Yes, she appreciated that and was very excited, but geography doesn't make you compatible, sadly. So I don't know whether that's enough for them to say, oh, we both speak Spanish, we both love Colombia, so we will work. I don't know. Sarah says it takes a lot of her things on her list, so I don't know. Hopefully they work, but it's very rare that on wedding day you get a couple on Married at First Sight who are ecstatic to see each other and continue to be ecstatic until the end and say yes on decision day. So I hope this is a good sign for them. I really hope so. But hey, I don't know. I'm a bit on edge with the two of them. I am anxious is what I'm going to say about their wedding vows and their wedding. Especially given, their friend's behavior. You've got Tim's friend with this inappropriate speech, and then you've got Sarah's friend sort of with this checklist of what Sarah wants in her husband. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh my God, I love Cassandra. I'm going to say this. If Tristan breaks her heart, I am sending Nakia. Those that watched Love Island Australia know who Nakia is. I am sending Nakia to give him a piece of my mind, because I really love this girl. Well, Tristan is going on about his neck. He kinked his neck. I don't know whether it was how he slept or whatever happened with him. So he's worried about that. Tristan is very awkward. He's going to be one of two things. It's either he's going to make a very great husband because of his awkwardness, or he's going to be a nightmare because he's set in his ways and he's not willing to be flexible. You have Cassandra talking about her mum. Apparently her mum passed away from cancer in 2020, and it's like, this poor thing has experienced a lot of loss. She lost her high school sweetheart in a bike accident, and now she lost her mum, and so I'm really heartbroken for her, and I really hope she finds what she's looking for. Her dad is there, and it's cute to see her dad be there to support her and walk her down the aisle. Also, that was sweet, because with Sarah walked herself down, so this is cute that they're doing something more formal with Cassandra and Tristan. So Tristan arrives, and the family, for Cassandra and friends, are initially happy to see him. But then, because of his anxiety, he starts panicking and starts going into the speech I am anxious about Tristan because at times he displays symptoms of someone on the spectrum. Because at one point his mom had to apologize on his behalf to say he's just anxious because she could see that, Cassandra's family were becoming anxious because of the way he kept talking 100 miles an hour. And then eventually the bridesmaids came in. And I think it was Cassandra's sister who was the first one to walk in. And he was so ecstatic. He was like, oh my God, like she's stunning. And then it turns out, no, she's a bridesmaid. And then he went, oh, okay, I'll turn around again. And it's cute, but I hope they haven't sent her up with someone who's very, I don't know, very all over the place, because I think she's been through a lot and she just needs someone to love and care and adore her at this point in her life. Cassandra has me on a roller coaster. I was crying when she was talking about her mom, and then to see her with Tristan and them exchanging vows and how emotional that was. Oh, it was quite moving. Tristan is very nervous. I can't wait for him to settle into himself because this situation is very stressful, and so I can get why he's so hyper and why he's so over the top. I hope once everything is sort of stripped away, it's after the wedding, they've gone on their honeymoon, they come back, they're able to sort of settle into the roles, because he appreciates who she is, because immediately he's seen that she's caring, she's supportive, she's authentically herself, and she's someone who comes across as very loyal. He loves her family. I love the fact that his mother fell in love with Cassandra when she saw her. You could tell her excitement at seeing Cassandra, that, oh my God, even when Cassandra was saying the vows, when it sort of panned to the mom, you could see how excited the mom was. And the fact that Tristan made sure he introduced his mom immediately as soon as Cassandra, was standing up at the altar beside him was amazing, because Cassandra values her dad. And so to marry someone who really values his relationship with his mom is amazing. I have high hopes for them, but hey, we'll see how it plays out. So we return to Tim and Sarah's wedding, and I think they're more worried about their sexual attraction. This is one of the main things for them, in my opinion. And sadly, because they're very superficial people, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it work. Because, Sarah's, I'm very attracted to him, I'm very excited. And it's like, yeah, that's a double-edged sword on Married at First Sight. Because some people start off being attracted and then they just turned off, and that's it completely. We have Brennan on the US version, who seemed over the moon at his wedding, and now can hardly stand, his wife. So I don't know about that. So they then sit down and have a conversation, and he talks about, you have Tim talk about the fact that he was planning on marrying his ex this year. He broke up with her 6 months ago. And so, he's hoping that Sarah will help him. I think he was going to say, I'm hoping you'll help me get over this. And it's like, why would you even say that? And why the rush to get married and Married at First Sight? Your goal was to get engaged this year. So why is there a rush for you to get married this year in particular? That didn't make sense to me. That was suspect. And I get why Sarah's concerned, because that doesn't sound great. Even the producer said to ask him, are you over your ex? And he said, yes, I am. And for me, I don't get it. I remember I watched, was it last season, where somebody later on went back to their ex, even though they'd said they'd broken up with their ex. I have a bad feeling about this. This is going to be a Bronte situation, the Sarah and Tim wedding. It's going to be a Bronte. And what was her husband's name? I've forgotten his name. He got on my nerves last season, because her friends are a bit too extra, because they're starting to read her face and they're saying, oh, she looks very angry. She doesn't look happy. Something has gone wrong. What's gone wrong? And it's like, what does she do that makes her friends be so anxious and so, on edge about her, and have so, rigid sort of rules or guidelines in which to operate in? What is it about her? This is a train wreck, and it's starting at the wedding, and it's going to be all the way if they stay married until decision day. And then you have her storm off, and, Tim doesn't seem fazed by it. He's decided to go and mingle it. And it's like, well, you've dropped a bomb. You've told her you were in a relationship until 6 months ago. You're planning on proposing to the person this year. And then suddenly you're getting married to her, and you're telling her that you hope she's going to help you get over it. What do you think, Sherlock Holmes? What do you think? How do you expect it to feel? How do you expect it to feel? I would be upset. And if I were her, I understand the marriages in Australia are not legal. So if I were her, I would just say, I'm done, deuces, unless she just wants to be on TV. Otherwise, I'll be out, because this is going to be a train wreck and it's going to lead to a lot of emotional baggage after this. So we go back to Cassandra and Tristan, and they are the coming, couple, as compared to, when you look at what's going on with Tim and Sarah. So I love that, there's this craziness going on here, and then you have the calmness on the other side. So, Tristan is sort of introducing his family to his new bride. He's telling her who is who. He tells her about his dad, his stepdad, and his brother. And she sort of introduces her family, her dad, her sister. And he immediately stands up, and she's like, where are you going? And he says, well, I'm going to introduce myself to your dad and to greet your dad. And I think for her, she was like, what's happening? And then he actually went, and I thought it was sweet that he felt it was important, because at the altar, he didn't acknowledge her dad. So for him to take time to go and sort of greet her dad and introduce himself and greet her sister was amazing. So it seems hopeful. It seems hopeful, because you even had Cassandra say, it seems like she's going into the experiment with a very nice person. So she's very excited for the process. And I am hopeful for her, because I would hate to think the experts would set her up with someone who would bring her a lot of pain, because she's already been through enough on her own without them sort of saddling her up with someone else who's going to bring her more grief. So I have high hopes for her. Okay, can we already give first, prize to favorite parents ever? So we have Cassandra's dad. He's the one who's giving the speech. I love how emotional it was. I love that it was lighthearted at times. I love the fact that he told his son-in-law that if she gives you problems, don't come to me. And then he told his daughter, if he gives you problems, go to his mum. Don't come to me. And so that was cute. I think it was important that he creates an environment where he makes sure that his daughter always relies on his mother and sort of builds a relationship with his mother, because that is someone who's very important to him. And the dad has already acknowledged that he thinks he's going to have an amazing relationship with Tristan. And the way when the dad was talking about how he met his wife and stuff, Tristan was like, oh, Tristan is so cute. He's so cute. He's so unfiltered, uncensored, and it's endearing to watch. And I love the fact that you could see the appreciation on Tristan's face, the appreciation on his family's face when the dad was talking about his daughter and who his daughter is as a person. I hope Tristan takes this gift that has been given and he runs with it, because she seems like an amazing girl. And I hope on her part, Cassandra does the same, because they seem like a good match. As long as they, close out the noise and just focus on the two of them, they have the possibility of working. And the fact that her dad decided to do a mic drop at the end was, oh my God, I love the dad. I'm here for him. Amazing. So you have Tristan's best man give a speech, and it's like, why is he sitting there and allowing this to take place? Why is he allowing his friend to say all these derogatory things in front of not only his family, but this stranger's family? Why does he feel it's appropriate? And even the friend, can he not read the room? The fact that people were behaving awkwardly the very first time he started speaking and he started counting down these experiments, he should have stopped. He should have stopped. This was a train wreck. It was even worse than George's friend on Married at First Sight UK. This was terrible. And with friends like that, who needs enemies? Really, who needs enemies? I don't know why Tim didn't kick him under the table and tell him to stop. I don't know why he allowed him to continue to go on. What he thought was appropriate about that speech is still mind-boggling, in my opinion. I don't get it. I really don't. I'm so confused. And I'm surprised she didn't storm out. Her friends, though, the conversations they were having, and for the producers to really turn the mic up and turn down the mic on everybody else is amazing. The fact that the friends were saying she's going to eat him alive says a lot. It says a lot. It means that she must be a train wreck herself. And so they've matched this very highly toxic couple. And I think that's a ratings couple. I really think it's a ratings couple. Yes, they might have things that they're compatible with, but the fact that they've started on day one with a disaster, oh, I can't wait. I really can't wait. I love this start for Tristan and Cassandra. I'm a bit surprised that they're going to South Australia. They're not leaving the country per se to go abroad. And so I'm a bit surprised as to why is that. I know last season, the other couple, it was because, she was unwell. She had MS. And so I think it was safer for her to stay local. So I'm surprised that they haven't left the country. And it was nice that the day after their wedding was Cassandra's birthday, and Tristan arranged for her to get some flowers. He did tell her he was a romantic. So he got her some flowers, and he knew about her favorite cookies. So he got her the cookies as well, which I thought was very sweet and very endearing, especially if it's someone you're trying to impress and make a very good impression of. So that was amazing. And they went off on their honeymoon. And it's surprising how polar opposite they were to sort of Tim and Sarah, because Tim and Sarah, after the chaotic wedding, then went on their honeymoon, and on the honeymoon things fell apart again. They seem to be in a good place. It's going to be a merry-go-round. It's going to be a seesaw with that marriage, because they'll go from high highs and low lows, because they're having this conversation about tequila, and suddenly whatever Tim said, it rubbed Sarah the wrong way, and she then decided, she was upset because you don't tell a woman to calm down, and he told her to calm down. And why did he tell her to calm down? And it's like, oh my God, can the two of you just get divorced? You don't even need to get your commitment ceremony. It's time. Let's call it quits on this marriage and move on to the next one. I can't even wait. And it seems there's going to be more disastrous relationships. All I want is success for Tristan and Cassandra. Everybody else, I haven't got a favorite as yet, so they are free to do as they please. But please, as long as you don't bring your toxic relationships to sort of Cassandra and Tristan, I'm happy. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click on the link in my video to watch reviews from previous seasons. Bye guys.